Okay, we're gonna start now, just so that we uh, catch everybody coming on. Um, let's see what we can start off. I'll show you some stuff that I do. The wood burning and stuff. I have tons of this stuff laying around. I do little squares like this. Where's the camera? Oh, there. That's supposed to be a fox. Little old hound. It's one of my favorites. I do a lot of this kind of burning. It's a cat. People like this one. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, woodpecker. Not bad. I've done better. Like I say, I do a lot of cats. They come out pretty good. It's because I had a cat, Flounder. That's why my blog is called Flounder's Great Adventure. Flounder and I were together for about almost 20 years. It was kind of sad when he left, but it was his time. He'd been around a long time, and he was tired, so we had to let him go. I don't know, did I show you this one? Now, these are simple wood burner. You go out to get any kind of wood burner. I use all the kinds. I have the ones that have the special detachable points, and then I use the ones that look like pens, and they're actually soldering irons, really, with a bunch of fancy tips on them. It's up to you to see how that works, what you like, Depends on the kind of art work you do. I also do wood carvings. I don't want to show you them right now, I think I showed you once before, because I don't do too much of that anymore, I like slowing down in my old age, all right? I write. Told you that. I just found out that I can publish short stories on Amazon, so I think I might do that, because I have a problem writing any long story. I tend to forget what the story's about sometimes, and I'll hit a writer's block, and I'll be gone for 3 months, and I come back and I gotta basically start all over almost, So we'll look into that later. We have stuff coming in, new equipment coming in and whatnot. So there'll be some changes to not what you're seeing so much, but underneath what you're seeing, because going to move some things around and whatnot in here. I like to do that. I like to listen to music. I told you I had that. I do that three for free every day. And I find some really good stuff sometimes. I'm doing a lot of classic rock right now, just because it's what I'm finding. Then I'll probably go into some obscure blues or jazz or something, and disappear. Who knows? Well, if everybody's here, that's going to be here now. So let's start talking some bullshit, shall we? You guys keep track of what Marjorie Taylor Greene says? I find that it's amazing that somebody can get away with what she's doing. I guess if you're in the Senate or the Congress, you have a certain amount of immunity to be able to spew bullshit, And I'm not real big man on the bullshit part of it. Sometimes it's funny, and it doesn't hurt anybody, then it's okay. But she says some stuff that's really whacked out there. I mean, comparing the Holocaust to a mask mandate is takes a bit of stretching. I mean, that's she doesn't come out and say she's anti-Semitic, but she says a lot of anti-Semitic and anti-Islamic stuff. I mean, I guess she just wants to see if she can start a war all by her little lonesome, you know. I hope she's got some good bodyguards, because some of these people she's criticizing, they got some nasty people in their organization. So almost as nasty QAnon and the white Messiah groups, you know. Um, I question her mental stability on the, you know, I mean, the way I look at it is, if she says this stuff and she believes it, well, that's one major mental problem. You know, that's just, there's people that still believe the planet's flat. So, you know, you can't, there's nothing you can do about them. You can't do anything, you know, I mean, we're going to believe that no matter what you say or do. Then you have the other possibility that she's making this shit up for attention. That makes her an extremely dangerous psychopath, because now she can start triggering violence, and you know, and stir up people just like Trump did. You know, Trump's a psychopath. I mean, he's a nut job. Nobody believes it. You know, that supports him. Everybody believes what he says, but they don't think he's crazy. They think he's smart. You know, people around him think he's smart. You know, that this is a way to get people. You know, look at the people we got. We had 80 million people believe what I say. Yeah, maybe. 80 million people want a white president. Do they believe what you say? Maybe. You know, do they think you're good for the country? Maybe. They're just so determined, you know. And they're determined for a reason. They get this. I can't see my face here. They get this. What's the word I'm trying to think of now? They get this thought in their head that, you know, they want a Republican president, and the Republicans are good for the country, you know, and but that's not really what they want. They're pissed off, and they have a right to be pissed off. The two-party system causes stagnation, you know, and it's a byproduct of equals kind of going at each other, you know, without the ability to compromise, without the willingness to compromise. They have the ability. They just have the willingness to compromise and to negotiate and to sit down and discuss things on both sides. This isn't just Republican side. You know, the Republican side takes a side, and the Democrats take a side, and nobody wants to move. And when they do want to move, one side doesn't want to move. I mean, it's just how do you know, stupid. There's no other way of putting it. I have, you know, that's what gets people to stop voting. That's what gets people to say, fuck this, the government sucks, they're no good, they're just a bunch of lazy bureaucrats sitting around partying on our dollar, you know. Well, that's true. You know, the worst thing they have is the filibuster. I haven't seen it used as much as it was back in the day. I mean, they used to sit there and get some guy up there talking for 48 hours straight just to kill a bill, you know. Then for a while there, they were doing the sneaky shit. You know, they were passing bills and sticking riders in there that were screwing somebody else, you know, the minorities usually, or the poor people, you know. I don't know, you know, it's the Republicans that they interview at least seem to support the kind of legislation and stuff he did. They love his tax cut. Well, they must have a lot of money, you know. Because I don't know anybody in my bracket. My bracket is the same as when I was working. You know, I make about, if I'm real lucky, I'd pull in $17,000 to $25,000 a year. You know, when I was working, and I managed to live on that. I worked hard, and you know, I pulled some strings here and there. I managed to make things meet. Didn't drive a Cadillac or anything like that. So, but. These people believe everything that comes out, and how do you believe that? You know, I mean, I understand your willingness, that your frustrations, and you want to change, and that's what got Trump in the office in the first place. He was going to clean the swamp. He didn't clean it; he restocked it with slime. I mean, his family is, oh, they're atrocious. You know, all you got to do is look at the real estate business that he's involved in, and then look at his daughter's business, and you understand it's the slime that's involved there. You know, the the corporate mentality isn't a government mentality. A corporate mentality can sit there and say, we only want whites. We're going to make products and sell them just to whites. You can do that, and you can pretty much get away with it. Government's a little different. Government is of all the people. You're not just the white people who are on the verge of becoming a minority, which is fine with me. But like I said, I've looked at countries with a one race rule. They're either third world countries, or they just can't survive. The governments can't survive. They end up constantly in revolution. So that's not a choice for everybody to make. It's getting real windy out there. But that's apparently what a good portion of Trump's supporters want. They want a white government, white people. They want a white country. White country. I bring this up all the time. The white people are invaders. They came to this country and they conquered it. They killed thousands and hundreds of thousands of American Indians, and said that was a cool thing to do because we needed the gold, we needed the oil, we needed what they had. At least the first ones for New York traded with, ripped them off in a real estate deal, which is probably relatives of Trump pulled that off, because those kind of deals still go down in New York. I'm very disappointed with the country as a whole. I'm like I said, I'm an old guy. I sit here, and I look at things and I say, I don't understand this. By now we should have been able to do away with all of this. We should become a great country, because we should have been able to resolve all these issues that are just stupid. They're based upon greed, and there's other terminology that I can't remember, and I don't know how to use it properly, so I won't. But it's if you want harmony in the world, you have to get rid of greed, and you have to increase the trust in the world. Right? And that's practically impossible. Okay, I've seen this in religions. I've seen this in churches with the priests and the bishops and the cardinals and the rabbis and everything else. I've seen all this. I've seen how greed plays a part in their actions. Okay, and they can say no, and they're full of shit. Okay. I worked in a Catholic school where they bought the food for the kids from the food bank, and you were lucky if the stuff that was like 2 days from being expired. But the nuns ate real well. They had, standing rib roasts and everything. They did well, but it was done so that they could send more money, send a larger portion of the tuition to Italy, to the Pope, to ensure their burial plot or something. I think that was told, something along those lines. So that's greed. That's what greed is. That's what they're doing. They're greedy. I've seen. You look at the evangelists and look at the churches they have and the homes these people live in and everything like that, and they say, well, we don't make any money. They're living off the church. It's church property, tax free. They live there, but it's a huge mansion. Some of it's dedicated to their religion, but not much. They're full of shit. They're all about the money. They'll do almost anything for money. Now they're supporting QAnon. like I said, they'll do almost anything for money. That's just stupid. That's the greed part, you know? How do we solve these issues? And now you're getting back to the Congress of the United States. You have the Republican Party wants to be in control. Why? What programs are they professing to have that are better than anybody else's? This goes back to when Obama put through Obamacare, and the Republicans went nuts, saying it was horrible, it was terrible. Now, I don't know whether he said it, but I said this several times publicly. If you don't like it, write a better bill and present it. For the longest time, they didn't put anything forward. And I still haven't seen anything forward. Their idea is to repeal it and go back to the way it was, because that was good. Good for who? I knew people back in the day, I knew people with money that couldn't get health care. You know, never mind people that didn't have it. The fact that it was available through your job, either it was part of the benefits or it cost you a minimum amount, that was good. That's never coming back. Why? Because doctors want more money. Okay? And they lie. My own experience with that was I had to have a surgery. What was it called again? I forget. I'd forgotten the surgery. It was pretty major surgery, but I didn't have to stay overnight in the hospital or anything like that. And I had a bill was presented. I asked them. I didn't have insurance when they first told me I should have the surgery done. It wasn't life threatening. I could have it done when I wanted, really, you know. And they said, I'm going to say it was just for the sake of argument, it was $10,000. Okay, I'm not sure it was that much or more, but let's say $10,000, and that's without that's no insurance. All right. When I got the surgery done, I had insurance. They submitted a bill for $17,000 just so they could get the $10,000. See, that's the problem. That's what people don't understand, is that insurance causes inflated costs. If you don't have insurance and you go to the right hospital, they'll work a deal with you to get paid. Okay? If you have cash, they'll work even a better deal with you. All right? Don't say they won't. You can tell me, oh, they can't do that. Yeah, they can and they do. All right? But that brings us back to this where the non-negotiations that take place in the United States Senate. You know, they sit there and if they show up, you know, they're in their office supposedly. I don't know what they do in their offices. Sit with their feet up, waiting for lunchtime or their tea time at the golf course. I don't know. You know, I mean, I know that most of these people are like. If they weren't in politics, if they weren't in the positions they were in the Senate, they probably would be just everyday lawyers, and most of them wouldn't be good lawyers. You know, they wouldn't be working for, you know, the major Wall Street firms or is that what they call lawyers? No, I guess lawyers work someplace else in the city, all right? Or they, you know, they'd be professors, which are making jack shit compared to what they're making now. You know, without any of the benefits that they have right now, except maybe housing. But the houses wouldn't be the same, you know. And when they retire, they wouldn't receive full benefits and full salary and full benefits, health benefits for free, you know. That's and they wouldn't. I don't know whether they pay taxes when they retire or not, but. You know, I mean, that's probably what they would be doing. They're not. Most of them aren't. What I'm seeing now with the Getzes and the Marjorie Taylor Geetzes or Getz or whatever his name is, and Marjorie Taylor Greens and a few of the others that are showing up, they're not very bright. You know, they get elected on based upon a lot of it's the cult of personality. Or they know what people to deal with. You know, it's like a presidential election. Okay, I need Michigan, but I don't need North Dakota. So I'm not going to go to North Dakota to campaign, but I am going to spend a lot of time in Michigan. I'm going to spend some money in Michigan because I need that state. North Dakota can kiss my ass. That's basically government. They they get in and they sit around and say, okay, now what can I do to stay here? Even the president of the United States, after the first year, that's why they always say the first 100 days. After that, they start to look at ways to raise money for re-election. They'll do personal appearances. Obama went to see did the commencement of, not Obama, but Biden did the commencement address at the Coast Guard Academy. Those parents represent groups of people that he wants, he needs money from. Okay? Now, Trump is not the president, but he's running around doing this super PAC that he claims, that people think is for his reelection. And it's not. It's for his own private purposes. He's broke. He's got no cash. And what cash he has, he's not going to spend. That was the art of the deal. If you read that book, it was all about him using other people's money to make money. He never uses his own money. He doesn't spend money. He's a cheap son of a bitch. He's, come on. Getting McDonald's delivered at the White House. Give me a break. Okay, you got 3 gourmet chefs hanging out there, and you're eating McDonald's. You fat load. God. Who am I sounding like now? I can't remember now. One of the DJs, I guess. They were political commentators that rants and raves about all kinds of garbage. That's me, ranting and raving about all kinds of garbage. See my cowboy hat back there? That's my hero, is Don Imus. Till he got really easy. He used to be funny, and then he got crazy. I'm not funny. I wish I could be funny. I wish I could tell dirty jokes and stuff, but I can't. I forget them. I forget the punchlines and whatnot. So I'm not very good at that either. All I'm good at is working with my hands and sitting here and spewing a lot of bullshit out, hoping somebody really wants to listen to it, and think that's maybe, maybe that makes sense, I wrote a blog in my blog, Flounder's Great Adventure, which you can see available through WordPress, or just type in floundersgreatadventure.com. That's my webpage. You'll see it there. You can see it on Facebook under the JB Bruff page. You can see it on Instagram, not Instagram, Tumblr. You can see it on Twitter. But I wrote it about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I said, and I said what I said earlier. I said, if she needs a mental health checkup for the sake of for herself and for the sake of the country, because she's just way out there, man. And like I said, if she's saying this stuff and she believes it, then she really has some problems. She's very easily influenced, and she has some sort of mental issue. If she's making it up for attention, that's a whole nother ball game. I know that I repeated that, but I think that's important, because I think she's seriously nuts. It's like Trump. What does he say? He keeps saying this crap. He won the election. He knows he didn't win. All right. If he's as smart as he claims he is, he knows he didn't win. He knows they're not going to find enough votes anywhere. But he figures if they keep going on and on like this, people will distrust the elections, and people will get violent, and people will have an insurrection. And he feels that he's in a great position to become the king of America. And that would be the end of democracy as you know it. Which he doesn't like it, because democracy, you have to work for respect. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to have people. That's what he said about Kim. He says, "I love the way those people sit. See how all the people, when he speaks, everybody sits up straight and doesn't move, because if they do, they get shot, and they know it, or they lose their position in power, and they end up, working in a factory reclaiming computer parts or something. So that's an issue. I mean, that's where I don't know. I'm getting too old and tired. So what else is going on in your lives? Anything going on in your lives? Nobody ever writes any comments or emails me a nasty note and says, "Hey, jerk off. What are you talking about? Go get some. Go to hang out in a hyperbaric chamber and get some oxygen to that brain of yours." I'm just, I just sit here and ramble on, and I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy it, because I have thoughts that I'm going to have to start writing. I am getting bad. I am going to have to start writing them down before I come on the air and everything, and see if what people have to say. I almost had an extra visitor there for a while today. I had 2 people listening. That was cool, Get 2 people out here. That's amazing. That's probably one of the guy that's watching me called a censor up, and now they're going to ban me from YouTube. That would be an amazing story, I looked into doing podcasts, but that can be expensive, and I'm paying somebody to be able to speak to you, and I have certain restrictions involved in, and they say get a co-host, then you should get guests to come on. If I get guests, I'd have guests here, I don't know. I don't know how much more time I'm going to be in Colombia, because Colombia is getting pretty screwed up too right now. They're saying the possibility of a return to civil war, and I'm not going to hang around here if that's going on. My wife wants to stay. That's fine. I'm not staying. I'm history. But we'll see what happens there. Let's see. I got a baby coming up in the end of June. That's with my niece. She's in Switzerland right now. That baby's going to be born over there, which is good, I guess. I don't know why. The healthcare is better over there, I think, than here or in the United States. So that's probably a good idea. One of my nephews is doing some other stuff that's coming along real good. He's sort of the entrepreneur. He does entrepreneur work, and unfortunately, he makes the same mistakes his father does sometimes, and gets involved in the wrong deals and puts a lot of money in it. He's into the I want to get rich fast routine. Everybody wants to get rich fast. I looked to see how much when I can start hopefully make some money out of this stuff I'm doing. And that's not going to happen. I mean, you got to get like 20,000 visitors before you can make $1. And that's going to be that's really going to be difficult for me, as you can tell. Hopefully, when I come back next week, you'll be able to see more of me. I might do it on my laptop, so that if Lazy Bones that's on the floor back there, Antonia, you can get a look at her, and maybe she'll sit up and say something for you. You never know with her. What else? End of the night gets hard. It's like when you get to an end of a composition in high school. It's supposed to be 300 words, and you're looking for that 299th word. You don't want to just say the end. I did that once. Get an A- in the paper. If I'd done it the other way around, I would have been okay. I guess that's it. I'd show you some of the artwork I had. I think I did. I showed you some of the artwork that was banned by Facebook. But anyhow, listen, that's it. That's pretty much it for the week. I'll see you next week. If something breaks down here or up there, really special, I might come back on live, and during the week, to always check, see if I'm around. I'll make the announcement on Facebook and Twitter, and tell you to tune in and check me out. that's I'm done. I've had it. I'm talked out. See you guys next week.